They say blood is thicker than water, but a $2 greeting card is all it took to show me exactly where I stood with the people who raised me. For nearly 3 decades, I believed that if I just worked harder, smiled bigger, and expected less, my family would finally see me. Instead, I watched my 26-year-old sister celebrate a luxury designer handbag while I held a piece of cheap supermarket cardboard. Growing up as the quiet older sister meant I became the standard for self-sufficiency, a trait my parents weaponized to justify their complete emotional neglect. My name is Maya, and while my sister Chloe was showered with elite opportunities and unearned praise, I was left to navigate life in the shadows. I managed to secure a full academic scholarship to Portland State University, working long hours at a campus bookstore just to afford my basic groceries. Meanwhile, my parents proudly financed Chloe's expensive fashion tuition and her lavish semesters abroad in Europe without a single hesitation. When I graduated with honors, they showed up 20 minutes before the ceremony ended. It's because Chloe's preliminary fashion show apparently required their immediate attention. I learned to document my own systematic erasure, realizing that my milestones were merely inconvenient afterthoughts compared to Chloe's highly celebrated demands. As a high school English teacher making $57,000 a year, I spent months budgeting tightly to buy meaningful gifts for that specific holiday gathering. I saved for an elegant silk scarf for my mother, a premium engraved pen for my father, and a rare art book for Chloe. I mistakenly allowed a small weed of hope to bloom, genuinely believing this winter evening might finally yield a breakthrough. The reality shattered my spirit when Chloe opened a $4,300 cream-colored designer purse, her squeals echoed by my parents' adoring praise. When my turn arrived, I opened a plain envelope containing a mass-produced winter card with no handwritten message, no gift card, and no personal sentiment. Across the room, my observant Aunt Clara caught my eye, a flash of genuine horror crossing her face, before she quickly masked her expression, driven by a profound sense of invisibility. I excused myself from the festive living room and drove 12 minutes to the scenic overlook at Council Crest Park. Watching the city lights blur through my tears, I realized 29 years of hoping for equal affection had officially collapsed into total certainty. The mass-produced greeting card became the physical evidence of their chronic dismissal, forcing me to accept a painful truth. Over the next month, a liberating silence settled between us, broken only by regular, supportive phone calls from Aunt Clara, who kept checking on my well-being. I spent my rainy Tuesday evenings reviewing old photo albums, confronting the stark visual evidence of our family's deeply rooted emotional and financial imbalance. Chloe's elaborate Sweet 16 party contrasted sharply with my own 30th birthday, which featured a melting supermarket cake and a rehearsed smile. When my phone finally buzzed with a family group text, I deliberately adjusted my settings to silence the notification and reclaimed my peace of mind. My mother sent a casual text inviting me to a Sunday dinner, and I replied with a simple statement saying I had other plans. Soon after, Chloe requested my assistance with her upcoming apartment move, assuming I would gladly spend my weekend assembling her furniture. I texted back a polite refusal wishing her luck, which prompted an immediate, defensive message demanding to know what was wrong with me lately. Taking a deep breath, I sent the most authentic message of my life, stating I needed some extended time away from family gatherings. Chloe warned me that Mother would be incredibly upset, but for the first time in my existence, that responsibility did not belong to me. I decided to invest my emotional energy and financial resources directly into my own healing, starting weekly therapy sessions and enrolling in a Saturday pottery class. My talented instructor named Sarah noticed my natural affinity for the clay, remarking that I was learning to collaborate with the material instead of fighting against it. Those therapeutic sessions helped me recognize that my inherent value was never dependent on my biological family's narrow perception. Validation arrived unexpected at my school when the principal commended my exceptional creative writing curriculum. noting remarkable student engagement throughout the term. He offered me a prestigious stipend to lead the upcoming summer writing program, explicitly praising the independent spirit I possessed. Later that evening, I successfully transferred $500 into a dedicated savings account, taking the first concrete step toward purchasing my own home. The true test occurred at midnight when a sobbing Chloe called because her long-term boyfriend had abruptly ended their relationship after dinner. The old version of myself would have immediately driven across town, but I calmly explained I could talk during my lunch break tomorrow. Chloe was stunned by my boundary, stammering in shock before uttering a rare, quiet apology for not considering the late hour. 3 months later, I attended my cousin Caleb's gorgeous summer wedding, accompanied by my supportive new boyfriend, a wonderful history teacher named David. As we arrived at the beautiful country club, Chloe approached us in a highly dramatic, overly formal gown that seemed entirely inappropriate for the occasion. She air-kissed my cheeks and expressed surprise at David's presence, noting that Mother had completely failed to mention my new relationship. My mother approached with a mechanical embrace, immediately making a passive-aggressive comment about my modest apartment getting rather cramped with company these days. David stood firmly by my side, providing a comforting presence that shielded me from the familiar, toxic sting of her judgment. Aunt Clara quickly pulled me aside to whisper that my father's risky investments had recently failed, leaving the family in severe financial distress. During the wedding reception, the family dynamic shifted dramatically as my father cornered me near the dessert table to ask for financial guidance. Uncle George loudly congratulated me on my recent promotion, and my mother suddenly started praising my practical, responsible nature to anyone nearby. It became laughably transparent that they finally recognized my existence only because they viewed me as a potential solution to their monetary problems. When my father explicitly requested temporary family assistance to cover Chloe's rising rent, I maintained a polite but completely unyielding distance. I calmly stated that my budget was balanced exclusively for my own needs, refusing to fund Chloe's luxury lifestyle after years of deprivation. Mother attempted to weaponize guilt by claiming they always supported me, but my quiet question about whether that support was emotional or financial silenced her. 1 year after that fateful winter evening, I officially unlocked the front door to my brand new Portland condominium, surrounded by genuine warmth. David helped me arrange my favorite books on the bamboo floor while Aunt Clara placed fresh wildflowers in a ceramic vase I crafted. I framed that cheap $2 holiday card and placed it prominently on my office desk, a permanent symbol of the night I found myself. If this story reminded you that your boundaries are a form of self-respect, please subscribe for more powerful narratives about personal growth and transformation.